wise man is slow to speak and quick to listen. A foolish man does the opposite. He talks endlessly, certain that his words make him look strong, when in truth they only expose his ignorance. The Stoics taught that a man's character is revealed not by his possessions, his status, or his appearance, but by the way he speaks, the words he chooses, and the thoughts he repeats. Every word reveals the state of his mind, and a foolish mind can't hide for long. These are 5 things a stupid man always says, words that reveal weakness, arrogance, and self-deception. The wise avoid them. The foolish repeat them every day. The first thing a stupid man always says is, "I already know that." It's the classic phrase of the closed mind. The fool believes that knowing something once means he has mastered it. But the truth is, wisdom is not about what you've heard. It's about what you practice. A wise man never stops learning. He reads, observes, and listens, because he understands that every moment, even from the most ordinary person, can teach him something. The fool interrupts, corrects, and brags about what he knows, desperate to prove his intelligence. But the Stoic sees through this. Epictetus once said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." The wise are humble enough to admit their ignorance. The foolish are too proud to notice how little they truly understand. The second thing a stupid man always says is, "It's not my fault." This is the language of blame, the refusal to take responsibility for one's own life. When something goes wrong, he looks for someone else to accuse. His boss, his family, the government, fate, anyone but himself. But the Stoic knows that blaming others gives away your power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." A fool resists this truth because accountability requires effort and humility. He wants comfort, not growth. A man who refuses to take responsibility is not a man at all. He is a child trapped in an adult's body. The wise accept responsibility for everything that happens, even what they cannot control, not because they enjoy suffering, but because they understand that ownership is freedom. The fool lives as a victim, the wise live as creators. The third thing a stupid man always says is, "I don't care what anyone thinks." On the surface, it sounds confident, even noble, but look closer and you'll see insecurity. The man who constantly claims not to care is usually the one who cares the most. He seeks validation through indifference. The Stoic, however, practices true detachment. He doesn't need to declare it, he simply lives it. A wise man listens to others, filters truth from noise, and adjusts his actions accordingly. He is not ruled by opinions, but neither is he blind to them. The fool rejects all feedback because it threatens his ego. He confuses stubbornness for strength. Seneca once wrote, "He who is brave is free." True bravery isn't in ignoring others, it's in facing the truth, even when it hurts your pride. The fool closes his ears to advice. The wise man opens his mind to correction. The fourth thing a stupid man always says is, "I'll do it later." The fool treats time as if it were endless. He delays everything, his goals, his responsibilities, his self-improvement. He always has excuses. "I'm tired, I'll start tomorrow, I'll wait for the right time." But the right time never comes. The Stoic knows that procrastination is a silent poison. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. The fool lives like he's immortal. The wise live knowing that time is short. The foolish man spends his days in distraction, chasing pleasure, avoiding discipline, and wondering why nothing changes. The wise man uses every hour with intention. He acts, he learns, he moves. The fool waits for luck. The Stoic creates his own fortune through effort and focus. And finally, the fifth thing a stupid man always says is, "I deserve better." It sounds like self-respect, but often it's entitlement disguised as pride. The fool believes the world owes him something, success, love, recognition, simply because he wants it. He compares himself to others, resents their achievements, and convinces himself that he's the victim of injustice. But the Stoic understands that the universe owes you nothing. Life gives you what you earn, not what you demand. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." The fool spends his energy complaining about what he doesn't have. The wise man spends his energy improving what he can control. Instead of saying, I deserve better, the Stoic says, I will become better. That's the difference between arrogance and discipline. If you listen closely, you'll notice that foolish people reveal themselves through their words. Their speech exposes their mindset: defensive, insecure, arrogant, and lazy. The wise don't need to declare their knowledge, their detachment, or their strength. They live it quietly, consistently, and humbly. The Stoic path is not about appearing wise, it's about being wise, through thought, through restraint, through control of self. Every word we say is a reflection of our philosophy, and the man who can control his tongue can control his life. So the next time you catch yourself saying one of these phrases, pause. Ask yourself, am I speaking from wisdom or from weakness, from ego or from truth? Because every foolish phrase has a cost: lost respect, wasted time, or missed opportunity. The Stoics didn't chase perfection, they chased awareness. They understood that self-control begins with self-observation. The fool never looks inward, but the wise man constantly questions himself. You can't control the world, but you can control your words. You can't change others, but you can change how you think, how you speak, and how you act. Don't be the man who repeats the language of weakness. Be the one who chooses silence over arrogance, discipline over comfort, and wisdom over pride. That's what separates the fool from the philosopher. Because in the end, life doesn't punish you for being stupid. It simply lets your stupidity punish you.